AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Leave it to us to never be distracted from all these Knicks haters. Number one, Becky Hammon, hey girl. Hate to say hello in such a dark time in your life. That was a bad transition, Flea. That was awful.
Yeah, that was terrible.
But Becky Hammon, the Las Vegas Aces coach, she insists the bullying allegations from Dearica Hamby, I hope I said that right, Flea. Dearica Hamby's lawsuit just didn't happen. So Dearica Hamby was traded to the Sparks in January 2023, a few months after she revealed she was pregnant with her second child. And they go through the details of basically Dearica announcing her pregnancy. There's details in here after her first pregnancy. Becky Hammon apparently approached Dearica and asked her, yo, if you're going to be, are you going to expect a second child, whatever. And Dearica was just, it was a big deal for them. They made it uncomfortable for her to be pregnant. And it was expected of her to play regardless or not avoid time. Supposedly it's in her contract. You have other details in here saying that the Aces were supposed to pay for her kids' private tuition, private school tuition, and that's part of the reason why she's suing. Dearica is also claiming that she felt traumatic and lied to, bullied, manipulated against in the discrimination suit after the trade, after she was traded to the Los Angeles Sparks. This news hit last week, and then Becky Hammon has responded, and she was very vocal about it. I'll play her response right now. Flea put me on to that. She just seemed very adamant and just sounds like the total opposite of what that lawsuit is claiming. Here's Becky Hammon responding to the lawsuit in a press conference. Let me bring this up.
I've been in either the WNBA or the NBA for now 25 years. I've never had an HR complaint, never, not once. I still didn't actually, because Dearica didn't file any. She didn't file with the Players Union. She didn't file with the WNBA. Those are facts. It's also factual that nobody made a call about trading her until Atlanta called us in January. That's a fact. Okay. And so, to me, I mean, it just didn't happen. I'm sorry, the bullying, I spoke with her every day. She wanted to practice, she practiced. If she didn't, she didn't. Over the top care, actually. Over the top care. That's the facts. Here's some facts.
So, to me, that sounds like the complete opposite. This is reality TV. The WNBA is getting more and more taking the page out of LeBron's book and becoming way more dramatic. But oh boy, I know it's a sensitive subject, but you know, what do you feel about the ongoings of this?
I'm just laughing because you know when somebody looks like they trouble, they look like she just looks like trouble. Like who's ever in a relationship with her, I pray for you. She looks like a headache, man. Sitting there, how she sound raspy, she look guilty, she sound guilty. I never was a fan of her anyway. Especially when she threw my guy Brunson under the bus. I'm being honest. Ever since she said what she said about Brunson, she's been on the hot seat. But anybody that know me, I commend people that knows how to find loopholes if it's legal. Listen, I don't watch the WNBA enough to know all the ins and outs, but I know right now it's a reality show, and that's good for them because it helps them make more money. Because I know for years, a lot of them young women, man, complain about the contract, so they're making a lot more money. But I mean, even if, all right, let me be careful.
Don't you? Go ahead.
No, because don't you supposed to want to get, if you're a female and want to have a baby, don't you supposed to want to get pregnant on purpose? Yeah. So for me, you know, it shouldn't matter whether it's during the season or not. You know, when people are married or, you know, couples, they discuss wanting to have a child. So it's done purposely. I just don't think that, I don't think that's a crime. Becky Hammon is going to continue to be in hot water. She's going to continue to be in a hot seat because she seems like a lady that invites that. Got a slick mouth. She comes off as if she knows it all. Like I told you, never was a fan of her. She act like she's smarter than, like I said, certain people, you could tell the body language. You could just tell how they carry themselves. So for me, listen, man, Becky Hammon need to go sit down. If you want me to be honest, go sit down, man. Like you in the news all the time. Ever since Brunson, you've been in the news for the wrong things. Go sit down, man. Yeah, get her out of here, man. I'm over her. Go ahead, Flea. You got the floor.
You cock back, reloaded. You look, sound. What's going on? What do you feel about Becky Hammon's antics, allegedly?
Well, I have some feelings in totality with the whole WNBA in a whole, and I got to be careful. I got to be careful right now. So let me be careful.
Where's the lighter flick, man?
I'm scared to stay on the screen, man. Listen.
Not me. I love this.
I know.
It's so unique. It's so unique with these women in that league, right? Because there's so many different things that go on in that league that as coaches and organizations and things like that, you got to deal with that you don't necessarily have to deal with in the NBA. You have to deal with the fact that these women potentially can get pregnant and have to take off time, no matter if it's during the season or it's off season. Like people don't necessarily always plan for when they're going to get pregnant. Like sometimes it just happens and we got to go with the flow. So that's one thing that's extremely unique about dealing with a professional league with women. It just is what it is. That it could potentially happen. Also, something that could potentially happen. These women have relationships with each other within the team. Like that is something that is happening currently with the WNBA. Why am I bringing this up? I'm just bringing this up because these are things that as coaches for that team, they have to deal with and sift through and manage, right? These are things that you don't typically have to manage when you're in the NBA locker room. Fabian, relax yourself. Like you don't have to manage those things in an NBA locker room. You don't have to worry about players getting pregnant and players having relationships. Like, y'all wilding right now. Let me get through what I gotta get through.
Hell no. No. You told me to relax myself with that comment was crazy.
Let me get
Number
through,
one. Number two, I never even thought about what you just said before. The NBA doesn't have to deal with that. Like, it's never been publicized like that. And I've heard some rumors. We'll leave it at that.
Listen,
but this is prevalent in the WNBA. We got to keep it 1,000.
This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I'm not throwing Becky Hammon no bail right now. What I'm saying is that, these coaches have to deal with so many other things in terms of decision making and how they're looking at their roster, right? You may be out now on maternity leave. We got to respect that. But do you want me to look at it? I'm asking, right? And I'm asking from a male perspective. I'm not a woman. But I'm asking, ladies, if you're here today, I'm asking, if you're in that position, at what point do you go from your womanly instincts, your maternal instincts, and say, look, I'm happy for you, and I want you to prosper and be a mother, but I also am the head coach of this team. I got to look out for the best interest of the team as well. It's a fine line, I think. You know what I'm saying? That Becky Hammon was in. Now, in terms of the bullying and all that kind of other stuff, that ain't cool. If that's what's happening and putting her in a position where she wants to not be a part of the team anymore, that's messed up. I don't rate that.
Can I say something just real quick? Becky Hammon looks like a bully.
And I agree with you. I'm serious. She does. She's like 5-0. She's got the Napoleonic complex. Yeah. I'm sure. I'm talking about her right now. Calm down.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being serious. I know I troll. I know I like to entertain, but she looks like a bully. She looks like a headache. She looks like she looks confrontational. She just looks like a bully.
What's the mouse from Tom and Jerry? Is it Jerry?
Yeah.
Jerry's the mouse. She look like Jerry. I get every time I look at her, I'm like, you look like Jerry.
She look like Jerry on like a gallon of whiskey, bro. She looks crazy. Listen,
yo,
I hope you finish, please. I think both of you made just points that were I didn't think about. I was thought about how things that they didn't have to deal with, but with you saying she does have a lot on her plate, like how much the NBA, you ain't got to deal with that. If their spouse gets pregnant, these guys, let's keep it 1,000. They got 20 chicks pregnant every
right, and that
just is what it is.
That doesn't impede if their availability for a game Friday night in January. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't impede if they're gonna be there or not. If Skylar Diggins is pregnant, Skylar Diggins had to take the entire season off, and she's one of the preeminent players for her team.
And I think
Phoenix, I don't remember the whole story, but Phoenix, I think, wound up getting rid of her. She's in Seattle now. I don't know if her pregnancy had anything to do with it, but I remember when she showed up to the facility and couldn't open the door.
But this is a part of the WNBA getting more popular and us being more familiar with things we never even thought about because of the fact that it's not in our face every day. And it's going to get more popular because a lot of money, Caitlin Clark's involved. We'll get to her in a second. There's a lot of money and marketing going on. Like this, to me, the lawsuit, a part of me feel like the WNBA, why didn't they sweep this under the rug a while ago? I'm crazy, dark conspiracy hat, aluminum foil hat, Flea. They want this sort of attention. It's salacious. We're going to remember all these people, all their names. It forces you to think about a woman in basketball now, because I don't want to deep dive into that, but just naturally, we never think about men and their kids and then that impeding them playing a game unless they miss a game for the birth, and that's it. They're coming right back, though. They might miss a playoff game to appear at the birth. But the other point that AllBall made, bro, how do you get in a way when you're supposed to plan it? That to me is like, oh, that's checkmate. That's checkmate. You can't write a rule off that. Like, if you implement that in the rule book, you're done. There's no way you could pass that on any level. What woman's gonna help you sign with that? With the way this country is built and everything, I don't want to deep dive into that, but you're gonna tell women that they can't plan on pregnancies?
I don't think they would even disrespect. Lord have mercy. I don't think they would even disrespect a women's league that is looked at as probably the best league in the world right now. Like, what? That
it's the reality. Knowing that, because how much money are they looking at right now? How much money they done tripled up with Caitlin Clark there? There's a lot of money on the table now.
Well, Angel, it's a couple more females. I don't want to, you know what I mean? Angel Reese, the young lady Ajan with the Vegas. I understand Caitlin Clark plays a big part, but there is some other entities and some other players that has help push the brand forward. So we can't just keep saying Caitlin Clark name, but she's definitely she's definitely steering the ship. She's the captain of leading the WNBA right now as far as revenue. I agree with that,
Fabian. But to your point, man, about that potential rule or whatever they could try to put in place, bro, these women in the wintertime are still going overseas to get money. These women, these women are still playing during the wintertime because they can't make ends meet with what they're making in the WNBA.
And Angel Reese was just talking about having to play a big three, so I don't want to go overseas. I want to stay over here. To your point, in the off season,
bro, you think if they put a rule in place like that, I would go overseas all year long. I wouldn't even go for the 6 months during the wintertime. I would go play over there. Go to hell, WNBA, because now I'm gonna go overseas and make all the money that I can and not even be a part of your league. If they add that they better not even think about that. They're catching like wildfire right now. The popularity is rising right now because of the influx of all these young women. Now Paige Beckers is about to come in and Juju Watkins is about to come in. Like, they're about to have some more young ladies come in and really take this to another level. Like, don't jam this up now by trying to be goofy and police coochies. Like, chill. Like, let's do this the right way. Like, what are we doing?
AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.